Hey everybody, it's John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur here, coming at you tonight. It's a Friday night, May 20th, and it ends the series that we're talking about. But for those of you that are new, well, check out my QR code that just popped up there on the top right. Just take your phone, scan that QR code. It'll direct you over to a site which has lots of great information, videos, and free stuff to help you become a better version of yourself and help other people become better versions of themselves. And you'll notice my QR code on the hat, which will take you there. You'll notice I have believe before you can achieve. You always have to believe before you can achieve. And also, if you're having trouble getting my QR code, just go to believe, BELIEVEME, and then ACHIEVE.com. It'll take you to the same place my QR code gets you. And you can get there 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, basically anytime you want. So it's great to have you here every single day. We have a brand new master topic, and then we have basically a master topic for the whole week, and then we have a subtopic every single day. And we're on the wrap up of that. For those of you who are coming back, welcome back, my friends, colleagues, and associates. It is wonderful to have you back here again. Really delighted to have you. Thank you for following and supporting me. And hopefully some of the new people will become loyal just like you guys are. Our topic is how to say thank you. We're on episode 7. And I'm pumped because the word thank you is something I feel that does not get used enough. And when it does get used, people don't give it the justice it deserves. Okay. So many times I've heard, oh, John, they don't really mean thank you. Well, what do they mean? Well, they're just trying to con you. They're really not thanking you. Well, what are they doing? Well, they're trying to buffalo you. Really? And so these people are professionals at trying to fool and confuse you. However, I've got to share something with you, and that is that people that are genuine, okay, are not going to care whether you notice their thank you or not. It's going to be a little more somber. It's not going to be as intense. Remember I told you that the thank you, let's say dissertation, comes from how long you've known that person. That's how thank you works. Great to have you here, Kenny. We are wrapping up our wonderful week. Thank you for always the great comments you have. We're talking about wrapping up thank you. So thank you, as we said, oftentimes gets misused. And so what my whole goal for this week was to explain to people that thank you has a lot of potential possibilities. We can thank people with the word thank you. We can be sarcastic with the word thank you. Hopefully we're not doing that. But we also can just show a genuine appreciation, which is a no strings attached, just a simple, like, yes, I acknowledge that. And so there are different levels of thank you. And I think a lot of people in the world think that thank you all fits in one bucket. It doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't fit in one bucket. There's many levels of thank you. Maybe you're a kid playing in a sandbox, right, with another 4 or 5-year-old or 6-year-old, and the kid hands you the shovel so you can start scooping sand into your pail. And so you say, oh, thanks. You might even pat him on the back. Hey, thanks. And not much will go into that, but just it's a very genuine thank you, but there's not a lot of attachment. You see, what happens is when people get older, they start to be judgmental. And so they're like, well, should I say thank you? Should I not say thank you? There's nothing wrong with saying thank you. But if your goal is to say thank you to get someone to do it, something else for you, don't say thank you. Say thank you because you mean to say thank you with your own mind and your own heart. That's why you say thank you. If you're doing something for someone so you can get something back, don't do it. You might think you're winning and that you're going to get it, and maybe you do get it, but that's wrong. And eventually it's going to bite you in the rear because people will learn that you are insincere. And one of the worst things that I can tell you is when people learn that you're insincere, it has a problem. And that problem rears its head saying, okay, what am I supposed to do now? So what's the difference between being sincere and insincere? Let's talk about that for a moment. So being sincere means that you're doing something with a genuine intention. That means that you are doing it from the heart. You're not doing it with any strings attached. You're not doing it because you're looking for something. You're not doing it because you're trying to get something for them. You're trying to use them or abuse them. No, that's not why you're doing it. You're doing it because you're genuine. So when somebody is 5 or 6 and they ask somebody for the shovel, or their friend gives them the shovel, you're like, oh, thanks. And it's just a very light thank you, and they move on and there's nothing else, right? When you get older, and let's say maybe you're in, I don't know, 5th grade, and when you're in 5th grade, the thing that oftentimes happens is life gets more complicated. Then you get to 8th grade, and now maybe you start to think about running for class representative. When you do that, you go to your friends like, hey, would you vote for me? And somebody votes for you, you say thank you. But if you're trying to get people to vote for you because you expect something from them, or if by getting that vote, it's going to obligate you. So maybe a friend of yours says, oh, I'll vote for you. And you're going to make sure that we get 40% more meat in our meatloaf every week, or we get lower prices, or something like that. Now, if that is truly a concession where it's tied back and forth, that's not good, all right? And that's not a reason to vote. You see, a lot of people, and not to get on voting here, when people vote for others, they vote because of the premise of what they believe they're going to bring to the table. However, they're just conning people. I also see a lot of times that people try to create an association when there isn't one, because they want to get a thank you, because they want to get that umbrella, because they want to get that carrot, okay? They want to get that carrot. And they figure the best way to do this is by conniving other people. That's right, I said conniving other people. So when you're somebody that says thank you, like in 8th grade, if you say thank you, somebody votes for you, that's great. But if you're now saying thank you, because now you're expecting something, or I'll vote for you, and if you get in, you got to be my friend. Like, see, that's not right. That's kind of an illegal concession, if you will. That's really unfair. When you get into high school, it changes even more. Now, somebody drops their books in the hallway, and you pick them up for them. Thank you. No big deal. Now, suddenly, somebody, let's just say, needs your help because they're flunking out of chemistry. And they ask you for help, and you put in the help trying to get them to have a better grade. And they went from a D or an F all the way to a B+, not too bad. And they come to you and they say, thank you. If they say thank you, and they're sincere and they look at you, you know they mean it. And you also know, because when they're around other people, if they start to placate you around other people and they treat you differently, that thank you was insincere, and they're just doing it so they can get ahead. It's sad that people do this, but they do. And so when that thank you comes across, it's insincere. Now let's say you're in your sophomore or junior year, and you're one of the class representatives that got elected for your class. And one of your tasks is to help with the junior ring dance. Okay. So you're now working on that because you're a sophomore. You basically finished your sophomore year and you got elected, but you're now going to be a junior. So you're basically going to become a class representative when you become a junior. So as a junior, you have to, your task is to help plan the junior ring dance. However, when you ask people to help you, like, hey, Would you help us set up? Or would you help us look at vendors? And if people do this, like because they want to help, a lot of times they help. You know why? Because they figure if you're on the committee, well, then maybe I don't have to pay full price, or I don't have to pay anything because I know John or I know Bob, and we're close, and I helped him. I helped him put this event together, and all they did was help you find a few vendors. So I think when the concession gets tied, that's a problem. So you might say to me, John, is a promise okay? Well, there's a difference between a promise and a concession being tied. A promise means that I'm going to do something because I want to do it for you. A concession means that I promise to do this for you if you do that for me, or I promise to thank you if. So you have to see, it's not good to have concessions. It's good to have equal give and take. The best friendships are when people organically want to give and organically want to take. I'm going to give you a situation. So I had a vendor one time, and I'm not going to get into all the details, but we wanted them to do something for us. And they did it perfectly for the first few months. We helped bring them business, brought an event there, and then the stuff that we bought for their tables to display our event, they magically got put away. They got put away. And not the owner, but when the manager comes out and says, I'm like, well, where's the plastic things we gave you for the tables? We'll put them out. And they don't. Or you put a sign on the window, okay, and they don't really keep the sign up all the time. So does that mean that that's really somebody you don't want to work with? Yes. Because it means that they're just trying to use you for what you're doing. Now, don't be nasty to them. However, realize the game they're playing. You don't have to call them on the carpet about it, but just realize they're not a full supporter. They may give you money, they may help you with certain things, but they're not a full supporter. They're just looking for their end. And you need to look for your end, getting your events there at a low possible price, right? The lowest possible price. I think a lot of times the intention of helping and thanking people becomes more of a chore to them. I'll give you another example. I had a friend of mine many years ago, still friends with the person today, and we did mutual tasks for each other. Let's say this one person owned a concrete company and I own, let's just say, a different company. Let's say I own a food company. Well, whenever that person needed stuff for themselves, I would provide it. And whenever I needed stuff for myself, they would provide it. Again, no charge. However, if I needed something for a client, like to have masonry work done for a client, they would charge me. If they needed food for one of their clients, I would charge them, right? I think what happens is people get so rolled up into the concept of, well, you can't bill me because I'm a friend. Well, friends don't work for nothing forever, right? You have to realize, what are your boundaries? What are you willing to do? What are you not willing to do? And when is it taking advantage? I know a lot of charities, being president of one, I try to always keep the tables fair, meaning that if I ask for something, I want to make sure we can give something of equal or greater value, and vice versa. And the reason for that is I don't want the people to feel that, we owe them down the road. I want to make it something that we're doing it in a mutual agreement. A lot of people take their business challenges out, I'm not making any money right now. Well, how's that my problem? It's not, but it becomes your problem. So this one example I had with a restaurant, they basically said that, we have to balance what's going on between your events and our events, and we have to balance it. So I figured balance was okay. However, when I started to notice that they took a sign down I understood they didn't want to put signs on all the tables. I get it. They said they're going to put them on a couple. They didn't put any out. Then I happened to notice that they took our sign down the window, something they agreed that they would keep up. Where is the thank you? The thank you is not there. People like that, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, they're takers. And so when you get people like that, you don't want to be rude to them, but you want to realize, who do you want to bring on your inside circle to help them? And who do you just kind of want to, well, I'll do my best. Never be rude to anybody. But you kind of make selections of who you want to let in your inner circle and who you want to put under your wing, who you want to help, right? People expect this all the time. And then they'll say something like, oh, you know, John's a great guy. Of course he'll do it for us. Oh, thank you. But when you start to sit down and just figure out that thank you or that appreciation they're showing is not sincere. I'll give you an example of how I know. You ask them to help you with an event. So you're running an event there at their place. Now you're running a community event and you want their help. But suddenly you hear all the excuses. Well, we close late. We can't give you anybody. And they have no time for you. But they have time when you're bringing them money. You see, that's a problem for me. And that's a false thank you. That's like a kick below the belt thank you. It's like, well, we wrote you a check, so I guess, you know, we've actually, you know, you should thank us. No, we shouldn't. Because you're actually abusing that membership or that privilege. And I think that's what happens with friends and why they kind of break apart. I'm an expert, let's say, in painting. I'm not. And you're an expert in poetry. So now suddenly you need help painting one of your rooms. Great, I help you. Now you need help painting another room. I help you. But it seems like I'm always helping you painting a room. But you might have only wrote me one poem on Valentine's Day. There's not a balance. So when there's not a balance, thank you becomes very disgruntled. And you never show it to anybody, but you just know that that person is not sincere in their thanks. And one of the worst things that can happen in life is when somebody is insincere in their thanks. Now, people that watch this video and that leave this video are probably saying, oh, that's not me, or I don't do that. And if you're doing that and you're watching the video and you're leaving, chances are you are doing that. And you don't want to admit that you're doing that because you feel ashamed, you feel bad. We don't have to feel bad, you don't feel ashamed. Just change your attitude. Change the way you live your life. When you use thank you, use it in a proper manner, right? When somebody else says thank you to you, you know if it's genuine or not. If it's not genuine, you don't have to be rude about it, but you just kind of know that that thank you was just, it was in jest, right? They're looking for something, or they kind of want to appease you because they know that if they don't thank you, you're probably going to stop doing what you're doing. I would tell you to not stop what you're doing. I would tell you to wean off what you're doing. Like, oh, what happened, John? I thought you were going to come tonight. I'm really busy right now. I'll try to come when I can. And then you slowly move away and move away and move away, and it's like, what happened? I haven't seen you in 6 months. Yeah, I know. Just getting really busy with work and stuff. I wish I could come. I don't have the time. And then you just sort of fade into the background. And I think this sets a very big precedence because everyone knows you as being the nice guy. Now, we've heard the phrase before, nice guys finish last. I don't want to say that. But what I want to say is there's being nice and there's being a doormat. Nice guys don't finish last. Doormats finish last. Being nice means that you are respecting someone else and you're also respecting yourself and you're putting up boundaries so people don't walk on you. Being a doormat is being nice and you just take any attitude they give you back and forth because you're the doormat. You take any attitude. That's where the problem comes in. And when people realize that you are not accepting the thanks, they go overboard. Oh, let me get you a case of wine. Oh, let me do this. Well, why are you doing that? Oh, because you're a nice guy. No, they're doing it to bribe you, to prime the pump, to do what we call in the restaurant industry tips, to ensure prompt service. But why are they doing this to you if the connection is not genuine? Because the connection isn't genuine, and they're trying to get you to see that there's so many more benefits that they can bring to your table, and they can wine and dine you, they can tease you, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, well they just gave me a case of wine. So you're going to keep acting like a doormat because they gave you a $300, $400, $500, or even $1,000 set of wine. Don't do it. Don't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you this week, and I want to let you know of a brand new show that is launching in June on YouTube, and it's at JCM Academy, and it is everything you wanted to know about business. Our first show is going to actually talk about how you start a new business, and what do you need to know before you start a new business, and what are some of the steps so that you don't run into pitfalls, and how do you go from being a business owner to being an entrepreneur. I can't wait to start sharing that with you. Be sure to like, love, support my video, comment below. How do you say thank you? Do you know the different variations of thank you? Once you start to learn this, people will never treat you like a doormat again, because you won't be the, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, you're welcome, thank you, you're welcome, and you're doing it on impulse. Realize that thank you and you're welcome has a cost. When you exercise the word thank you, it has a mental and physical cost. When you exercise your welcome, do you really mean you're welcome, or you're just being polite? Being polite is one thing, right? Being friendly is different. When we're polite, we share very little bits of information. When we are friendly and want to be friendly, we share a lot more information. Polite is just something everyone's supposed to be. But when we actually give short answers, we're being polite. When we're giving longer answers and being friendly, we're being friendly, and we want to develop a friendship, and that's genuine. Somebody can be polite with you and not really care about you and just want to abuse you. Somebody that cares about you will literally take the time to get to know you and be genuine. And they care more about you than those few dollars they're going to make on you, or their attitude. They care about you. And when that starts to happen, it's a circle. And that circle helps feed each other back and forth, and it causes a nice symbiotic relationship. Too many people rush to the chase. What can you do for me? I don't know. I can do this, and this. Great. I can do this for you. Great. Well, there's a connection. No. See, that's wrong. But so many people do that. Be sure, ladies and gentlemen, to please tag your friends, colleagues, associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And then be sure to go over to my YouTube channel, John Space, E Space, Morley Space, Serial Entrepreneur. And look for the key phrase, help keep our content free. And then, ladies and gentlemen, make the choice to buy my team and I a cup of coffee. You know we'll be so grateful for those pennies and dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, and even new facilities and staff to give you the most jaw-dropping, motivational, inspirational content to help you become a better version of yourself and help everyone else become better versions of themselves. We're starting off tomorrow with a brand new master topic. What it will be, well, you're going to have to sit tight until tomorrow. Have yourself a great night and a wonderful morning. And feel free to watch these videos again, because I feel that there is so much in here. And with these nuggets, you're going to want to review them, because you might miss a precious one that could potentially lead you to the success you've been waiting for. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.